Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check it out. Today we are flight testing. This is going to be the maiden flight test of the PowerEgg X. I'm going to put it together right here on the field here. Actually goes this way. And we're just going to fly this thing around. I'm going to just kind of real-time set up on how fast it takes to set the PowerEgg X up, put everything together, get it up and running, and just see how it performs. It's supposed to have the smart functions, and we're going to see how that 4K camera does. We're going to see the flight time and all that stuff. So anyway, let me set this up and we'll get started with the PowerEgg X. Let's do it. Okay guys, so I forgot my launch pad today, so I'm just going to if we're going to test the return to home accuracy, I'm just going to kind of see how close. I'm going to try to launch from this little brown spot here in the grass. Before we get started, I have to say that I seem to have possibly got a defective version. You can see there's some melting here on the bottom. Now, this is a known issue with an older firmware. This has since been updated. But what this is all about was basically when I did my unboxing, if you guys haven't seen that, I'll have the link up here, pop up, and in the description down below. If you've seen my unboxing, I basically did the unboxing, the battery went down to maybe 60–70%. I left the battery in the drone as it kind of came in the box because I didn't think there would be a problem. But apparently me leaving the battery in the drone, even though I had it powered off, just like this, and then put it all away until I was going to do my flight test, that seemed to melt this portion here. It seemed to be like discharging while it was connected to the drone, and it also kind of distorted the battery a little bit. The battery seems to be fine. I've actually flown with it just to test it, and everything seems to be fine, but you can see there's a little bit of plastic melting here. Some plastic also melted over here, and just the bottom got a little bit warped. But I did test it at my house and it seemed to fly fine, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I did tell PowerVision that this happened, send them some pictures, and they said they're going to send me a new one, but since it flies okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do the flight test because it's taking them a while to send a new one. Anyway, just wanted to get that out of the way before we get started. Okay, so setting this thing up, I have a high-speed card. Now this thing does 60 frames per second in 4K. It didn't seem to work very well. Not sure if it's because this is a defective kind of version, but it seemed to kind of stutter, but I will have that up in the video on occasion. So anyway, starting with the setup, we want to get the legs all set up. So I kind of did this in the unboxing, but we'll just do it here when you're ready to fly just to see how long it takes. So sliding in the correct arms, these can only go in one way, just like that. And since we're going to do just the flying first, that's all we need to do. Battery, 2 arms, put the top on just like that. Extend the arms out, get the legs clicked down like this. Take off the gimbal guard here. You just pull it and dislodge it like that. And basically this thing is ready to go. All we need to do is set up our controller, but you can see that's kind of worrisome there. It's pretty warped out. I'm glad I didn't like blow up in my house, but hopefully they can take care of that. So I just need to grab the controller and the corresponding cable I'm going to use from the pack, which is my USB-C type cable. And let's get started with this. So of course, opening the antennas up, making sure we can plug in our USB right here because this is going to connect to your phone. And this is what's going to hold our phone. This little guy here just pops up. Whoa! Okay, that just came off. Yikes, that was kind of scary. So be careful on this clamp. It seems to not be too hardy there. Okay, so I got my Android. This is the OnePlus 6T phone. And all I need to do is put it in the mount. So you just want to make sure you be careful of your power and volume buttons. And just slide that in. I did take the case off. Not a very good clamp for any kind of case, so make sure you take your case off and it will go in there just fine. Now we're ready to go. All we need to do is make sure our antennas are up, and this is kind of cool. You can see how we can extend this pretty far up, and then we can move this over so it's out of the way of the antennas. So first thing we'll do with this one, it seems like you want to start up the drone. So of course get the gimbal kind of clear. That should be good right about there. I wish I brought my landing pad. And then we're just pressing one press and hold. The lights are going to go up. And let's just look at this gimbal real quick. You can see it doing its self-checks. Goes up and down, does like a yaw. And we get a couple of beeps. Now with this one, it seems better now to turn on your controller after the fact. So we'll turn that on just by pressing power. We hear a beep. And what we're waiting for right now, guys, is we're waiting for the controller is going to vibrate and these lights are going to stop blinking. There's green lights kind of flashing. So once it vibrates, it's bound to the drone and then we can plug in our phone. So we'll wait for that. It just takes maybe about 20-30 seconds. There we go. Just felt a little vibration in the controller. Since I've actually already connected this and I have this set up, I'm going to just plug in right here and it should auto launch the app. So plugging into the bottom, you can see how I did go right inside of the antenna. That's so the wire's not on the outside of the antenna to mess with the signal. With drones in general, the flat part of the antennas here, that's what you want facing the drone. So I want to make sure those are up. You know, if we go right over our heads, it's a good idea to pull these down like this so the flat part's up facing the drone. So we're going to start off with just this straight up. And basically this is the screen I got right when I plugged in the USB cable. So we're ready to go, guys. If you have an update, it should say in this screen. If you do, I should have the latest update now. And that's what PowerVision said that fixed that overheating issue. It was just like, for some reason, just discharging the battery. Really weird. But there we go. We have our main device list, flight screen, tells us everything we need to know here. I should have this pretty much set up how I want it. And there is our video. Now this on Android is kind of weird. Remember in my unboxing you could tap on the Google map here and it would give you the map. Now it doesn't do that anymore with the latest update. I'm not sure why. I think iPhone is a little different, might be working a little better. But you can at least hit your compass, see that, and your compass works there if you wanted to use that. But just tapping on this, like nothing happens anymore. So maybe something they can work on. We got 14 and 15 satellites. Let's just start recording here and get this bird in the air. So all I should have to do here is press launch. This up arrow on the left I'm pressing. Of course I'll have my screen recorded. And this is how we want to take off. It's going to take off to 1.5 meters. And you just drag this to the right. You see how there's an X and a check mark? So I'm just dragging. Watch how fast this thing launches. As soon as you hit it, watch my hat cam. Boom. It doesn't even make sure the propellers are moving. It just, as soon as it spins them up, it just launches. And here we go. So we have a height of about 5 feet. That's what it launches to. And it's just going to hover there. So right now I do have the sensors off, the forward sensors. It seems with this one is you have to turn them on and they're always going to be kind of detecting what's in the front, and it's also going to be beeping on your screen. So I have them off for now. Let's just check out how this thing's kind of hovering. Here we go. Hey guys, hope you guys are all being safe on this uncertain times. And anyway, that's what the video looks like. I really hope all you guys are just staying safe and stuff. But anyway, from Hawaii, that's the message I have for you. I should be inside right now, but I'm the only one here and there's nobody around. Anyway, you can hear the sound. It's really not, it's only about as loud as maybe a Mavic Pro. Not very loud at all. You can see how the motors are tilted in. So it's giving it a really stable, like the rear ones are kind of tilted out and in and forward. And the front ones are kind of tilted out and backwards. So it's giving it a very good stable hover. No problems there. Let me get a little closer. You guys can kind of hear the sound of it. Oh, this leg seems like it's a little bit, wasn't even pushed out all the way. My bad on that one. I think that was just me setting it up. Okay, anyway, let's see what this thing can do. So I'm going to do a full yaw turn to the left. Now if you look at my controller here, this is in N mode. So we have normal, Pro is to the left, and E is kind of like a easy mode to the right. So we're going to just be in normal for a second. That's our full yaw speed there. Meanwhile, really looking at the video, full throttle forward. Let's see if it drops at all, and letting off. Keeping a good eye on the video. Let's turn and come back to us. Full throttle forward. Once it reaches that maximum speed, let's see what that speed was. It's keeping its height very, very good. 31 feet per second. I'm not even sure how many miles per hour that is. There's no mile per hour up there. I'm only seeing feet per second on the screen. Anyway, we can do the math after, but you see how it's pitched and then it just levels off because that's as fast as you can go. It seems to be flying really good. Let's do some turns. And let's just come in hot and then do a full-on stop. All right, it didn't really adjust its altitude at all. It just kept it solid, just about 5 feet from the ground. So that's great. Let's do a punch up real quick. So just from sitting here, kind of cloudy right now, so there's not much to look at, but just from sitting here to a full punch up, 3, 2, 1, go. There he goes. Boy, it's a pretty quiet drone. Let's see, our vertical speed is 16.5 feet per second. Let off. Check out the video up there real quick. I'm gonna pan to the right. Just a slow manual kind of pan here. Nice and easy. Let's get a little bit faster. Let's get a shot of the ocean over there. See how the auto exposure does with the sun over there. Let's go ahead and rotate this down. See how that works. Okay, so I'm just kind of rotating down kind of slow. And there it is. That's how it's dealing with the green grass. And let's do a slow rotation with the gimbal. Left trigger roller. I'm just pushing it back and forth to get this gimbal to move, if you guys were wondering. And that's back pointing at the West Maui Mountains and the ocean out there. Cool, let's bring it on down real quick. Actually, let's take some pictures up here. I'm gonna stop recording, switch to camera mode just by pressing on the right here, that camera and video. Let's take a shot. Now you can also do that from these two controls right here on the controller, right? So if I go ahead and just press the camera, boom, it's taking photos. So let's take a few photos. There's one there. Boom, picture. Let's take one of the mountain side. Boom, picture. There's some sun over in that area. See how that green comes out with the clouds in the picture. Okay, cool. One more picture of strictly the West Maui Mountains. All right, so those are some photos. Actually, let me do one more. I'm gonna pull the camera all the way down. Do one of just the grass in my area. And then I'll do kind of one at a 45-degree angle. So you guys can see how those look with the light. Because once I pick it up, it gets a little more dim. Let's go back to video and keep recording in the 4K 30. All right, we're gonna go point this sucker down. Let's do maybe like a 45-degree shot, and we're gonna pull down hard on the left thumbstick for the altitude. Vertical speed, all the numbers are great. It looks like we're getting about 10 feet per second. Again, keeping a look at the video and how stable it is. I'm just bringing the gimbal up again a little bit. Let's bring it up to horizontal. There it is. So it seemed to like slow down right about 15 feet. You see that? I'm holding down still, and it saw the ground and it's slowing way down. See my thumb on the controller? So it's not letting me go down. So it's going to be something like the Mavic and the DJI series where you just hold that and it'll land. But just quick presses, it's not landing. Let's see if we can cancel that out. If we do try to land, holding down, going into landing, nope. I want to push back up. Great. That's great. It was going into automatic landing and I was able to cancel it. Awesome. Okay guys, let's go into sport mode. I have 2 batteries, so if this takes a while, no problem. We've got a bunch of batteries. Let's go into P, which is pro mode. And let's see how fast this thing flies now. It seems like the yaw is about the same. Let's see how fast it can go. I'm gonna go up a little bit since we are kind of in pro mode. And I'm just gonna go straight out into the open area there. So full pitch forward now. Video's up recording, guys. Woo! Okay, we're going about 35 feet per second. Remember, wasn't it like about 25 to 30 in regular mode? I'm just going to pull straight back and have the gimbal down. Let's see how we do. Whoa, 47. I'm going with the wind now. That's going pretty fast. Letting off. Yeah, that took about 30 feet to stop going that fast. Full throttle down, looking at the gimbal, remember? Seeing how that can handle this. Okay, let's do a quick flyby. Woo! I'm full stick forward as I'm kind of rotating. Letting off right now. Okay, that's got to be about 20 feet. It took to stop going that fast. All right. Okay, basic flight functions here. Let's quickly switch to... Actually, let's go ahead and punch it up in this mode. Punch up. See how fast it gets going. Maybe a little faster. This is 16.5 feet per second. And coming down at 10 feet per second. This is kind of the sport mode. All right. Let's see how, if we just let off, how good it is. Remember, 15 feet, it kind of slows down. Yeah, letting off, and it's just fantastic. A lot of good little sub modes there for slowing down. Okay, guys, we have 63% power. Flight time, 16 minutes? No, that's the flight time we have left. Yeah, see on the bottom right there of the telemetry? Doesn't say how long I've been flying, but it does say how much I have left, about 16 minutes. That's awesome. Okay, let's do this E mode. So I'm pressing to all the way to the right on the controller. It should be the easy mode. And let's see how the yaw is. Seems about the same. So yaw is not going to really slow down in this E mode. A little bit of wander there when I did that. Pushing full throttle forward. Okay, this is kind of like the tripod mode. If you're beginning, maybe you want to be in this. Look at this. We're only going 3 feet per second. That's full stick forward there. Seems like the yaw could be a little slower. But you remember, you can tune all that on this one because you can adjust all the gains and rates on this in the menu, which is cool. So the roll, pretty much the same. 3 feet per second. That's like the easy mode, right? Let's punch it up in easy mode. Full punch now. Whoop. Yeah, same vertical speed as the other modes. Yeah, they should have slowed that down, I think. And just about 10 coming down too, feet per second. All right. So at least you get a lateral motion very slow, but the yaw and the up and down are the same speeds. Okay, we're gonna go back into normal mode. We kind of tested all that. Let's quickly turn on these sensors. I'm gonna back up from it a bit. I know the sun's not really out, but in order for the sensors to work, you have to turn them on in the settings here. Right here, I'm going into the settings, going into the sensor. And when you do this, everything gets really loud when it's detecting stuff. And it does it from pretty far away. So away from me, what am I, about 30 feet? So let's try to go slowly forward. And you're gonna hear some beeping when it detects me. Let's just fly right here into me. Here we go. Okay, so see up on the screen, it says I'm 2 meters away. I'm gonna push forward. I'm pushing forward all the way on my stick, full stick. And it's just sitting there. So very similar to something like the DJI drones, right? Let's try that a little riskier, full stick forward, and see what it does. So say you're flying like crazy and you know you have your front sensors on. Whoa, that would have hit me for sure. So, I don't know, maybe you want to, let's try that again. Make sure it's right at me. There, that time it worked. Whoa! Nope, that wouldn't have worked. So you see how it's using those front cameras right there on the two front? And when it points down to the ground, it thinks the ground is what it needs to avoid, and then it flips up. So there is some problem at low altitude, right? So I wouldn't really trust those. Maybe going in E mode. Let's try it in really slow mode. Watch this. So say you're trying to get some, man, that's just super slow though. I don't even know why you'd need those anyway. Let's try this again. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. We'll come around so we have a little more light on us. And I'm gonna go full stick forward in this E mode. See how it's doing that weird hopping thing for a while? There we go. So as long as you're going slow, it's not gonna hit you. Because apparently the pitch is really affecting that ability. Let's try this one more time. Maybe if it slows down and reaches its maximum speed, remember? It will detect me. So full stick forward. You see how it's doing this weird floppy pitch thing? Yeah, that's not gonna detect you. Okay, enough with that, risking it. So that's basically what the thing is on the sensors for the front obstacle avoidance. Let's turn this off, and man, we still have 10 minutes of flight time, so this is a long flyer, guys. That's great. Let's do some of these advanced functions. So we'll get kind of into the best visible light of us. We'll go up a bit. So we want to go into this middle button on the left, AI. Now we're in normal mode, right? So if I press that, I'm just in normal flight mode. If I go and follow me, let's see how this does. How to use trace mode. The aircraft tracks the subject at a constant distance. Okay. We can do trace, we can do parallel, and we can do spotlight. So it seems like trace will just keep up with it wherever it's going. So we'll try trace first. Cool. All right, so it already sees me. It knows I'm a person. Play. Let's see if we just press. Please select. Okay, so I'm going to click on myself. All right, so kind of like DJI. I know I compare it all the time, but it is very similar the way they're adapting. And we can adjust our radius. Let's try to pull out a little bit. Oh, cool. So it's adjusting the camera as I do this a little. We'll come in, we'll go out. And let's press play now. Let's see what it does. I didn't touch anything. And let's see how it can track. Let's see if it'll come closer and stuff. So remember, this is trace mode. Yeah, it's following me. So this is just a pure follow mode. It's not locked into any direction. It's just gonna move and follow you. That's great. Let's do a little bit of running here. Finally getting some exercise after being cooped up so long. All right, so the sensor's great. Let's go around where I get a little bit dark, right? Actually, let's go forward. See how good it is. Good, it's keeping me and it's backing up. Good. Keeping me in view. Stopping. All right, let's run away from it. Yeah, it's still following. And let's go into the sun. Let's see how this is. I'm only going a few miles per hour, but okay, so better than a lot of them I've seen. And keep in mind, guys, the horizon, that's just because I'm on the side of a mountain. That's great. Doing good even in a little bit of shadow. Let's run really fast underneath it. Whoa, it was really trying to back away. It like tried to back away and go to the right, which worked. Still got me in view. That's awesome. Let's try to press this button here. This kind of rotation button. What's it gonna do? Is it gonna follow me? Okay, that's kind of like just a tripod, right? Like a trace. where it's not going to follow. It's going to sit there and it's just going to track you. And it seems to be doing great. Let's see if we go under how it does. This is hard for a lot of them. Wow, it spun around and it's still tracking me. Had a little bit of problem, but it's not bad. Cool. All right, that's neat. Let's try this up and down arrow. See if that's doing anything. Okay, it's following me again. Cool, okay, it's following me like at angles. So you see what that's doing? That's kind of like a sideways trace. So it's not going to turn its head. It's going to just lock its yaw and then just trace me from this angle. So doing really well. I'm really surprised at this one. That's awesome. Okay. I think that's safe to say that this thing is pretty good, at least for as fast as I can kind of run, which isn't fast. All right. So I like how you can do all the different options there on the bottom. And guys, that was, let's see, oh, okay, pressing on the bottom. And you can make that menu go away and you can bring it back, which is cool. That's neat. What if I just press AI again? Okay, that cancels it. Or so I can do that, or I can just press X or pause. I'm gonna press X. I love how it's still recording. It's not doing these little mini clips all the time. It just still records, so that's great. Go back into AI. So we did follow me, remember? And it seemed like it did all these parallel, spotlight. See that? So now the blue on the parallel is lit up on the two arrows. So that's what I already did. You can switch quickly through them. So let's cancel out of that. Back into AI. Let's do a point of interest now. Battery is low. Okay, we're at 70%. Maybe you know what we'll do is we'll change the battery before we do this one. So how about we do this? How about we do a return to home. I'll pop in that other battery, guys, and then we'll do more. So let's go over here a ways. Still recording, which is great. So if we remember in some of those other drones, if you forget to record when you do one of those little quick shots, it won't keep recording. So there we go. We'll go over here and let's go ahead and do a return to home. So there's two ways I can do it. I can press return to home on the screen right there. You see the H, or I can press it on the controller. Oh, but check this out. It knows that it's far away and it's going to return to home so it does have that smart battery level. So I just let it go ahead and do what it thought it needed to do. So let's see how close it gets. Let's see how close it gets to that little spot. So it's going to come on back, still recording. And I think it was right. I think I launched from this spot right here. So let's see how it does. All right. So it's turning to face the exact position it launched at. Let's see if I turn it right or left. Nope, can't do that while it's landing. All right, let's see where it lands. Coming down. Again, keeping track of the video. A few feet off. And there it goes. It's landing and it's shutting off its propellers. Great. What more could you ask for except for maybe a little more accuracy? That's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about 6 feet away from where I launched. What I did, just to give it the benefit of the doubt, I did actually press the sticks just to see if I could turn a little bit. So maybe we'll try that again, but it looks like you're going to get within maybe 6 feet with this one. I did do a compass cal. Maybe I'll do another one real quick. I did one in my yard, so we'll do another one. And let's check our battery power too, guys, right? So we'll check battery in our menu. And look at that, we're at 8% and we're still at 3.65 volts. So no problem with this one. You're definitely gonna be able to, it has a lot of buffer of voltage. So we'll go into the main settings here and we'll go into sensor calibration. And we're gonna go to compass. So we're gonna hit compass cal, start. Okay. And it's telling us to rotate it just like this to the left. Just looking at the screen as I do this, trying to stay away from it a bit. Now it says to face it down. Okay, so it sensed me facing it down and now I'm spinning it to the left. Just nice and slow rotation. And that's it. That was it for the compass cal. That's awesome. Okay, well, we'll try that again on that return to home. So let's turn this thing off, switch batteries, and continue on. Okay guys, so we are back up and running, got the new battery in there. And by the way, that first battery was the one that was sort of melted, right? The casing. Go to 60 here, just adjusting the settings. And there we go. And let's record. So I'll have that up on the screen and let's launch this time. Let's see if we can launch any other way. Let's see if there we go. So you can start the propellers by pressing down and in. Let's see if they switch off after a little bit or if they just stay on. So if you don't like that switch auto launch, you can do this. And then of course you can launch to take off. Okay, they did stop spinning after about 10 to 15 seconds, so that's great. Just for return to home accuracy purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and do an auto launch and slide. You can see how fast that launches. That's pretty funny. So okay, remember right there, so when we do our return to home, okay, so this is the 60 frames per second. I'm just gonna kind of, everything's recording and I just wanna fly around just a little bit. So you guys can kind of see hopefully what I'm talking about. Maybe it was just a one-time thing. I don't know. We'll go down to the ground and we'll do a punch up. I just noticed a really bad jitter when I played back that 60 FPS video one time. So you guys be the judge of that, how that all looks. Okay. We'll just come down, full speed down here in normal mode. And then we'll switch back to 30 frames per second. Let's get the camera back up. Okay. It's pretty stable, just a little bit of shake on its fast descent. Okay, so that was the 60 frames per second. Let's see if we just do a slow pan. Because it was really bad when I was looking at it. Just like stuttering and stopping on occasion. Okay, good enough for me. Let's stop that and go back really quickly. Oops. In our video settings, video, and let's go click on 4K. Let's go back to 30, okay? Start recording again. All right, there we go. So let's continue on where we kind of left off, right guys? So we'll go back a little bit here. Remember we did most of the things we were supposed to be doing as far as the smart modes. And we want to do that point of interest, remember? Okay, aircraft automatically flies around the static point of interest selected by you. You can operate the camera during the flight. Great, use dots to confirm. Set the interest point after the aircraft has took off with flight radius more than 5 meters. All right, we should be good. That should be more than 5 meters. Set interest point. Just in case I'm going to get myself centered, set interest point. Let me just click and hold right there. Okay, so a little blue dot came up. And let's hit play. See what happens. Steer the aircraft to fly away. Okay, so you can do your own little selfie things like that. I'm going to fly up and out a bit. See if it can do that. It doesn't seem to really be keeping track of that point of interest. Oh, there we go. I just pressed play. Maybe it just, for some reason, it didn't start. Okay, so it's up there circling around where it thinks I am. Let me come back. So not super clear. Let's just try that again. AI, point of interest. Okay, click on picture. Set the interest point after the aircraft has took off with a flight radius more than 5 meters. Okay, so that should be more than 5 meters. So is it setting its interest point where it is now? So it looks like you can't do yourself. So maybe we want to do, let's just try that case right there. I know it's kind of lame, but that might actually be too close to the takeoff point. Well, let's just try it. So we'll get that right under the drone right there. So I'm going to set that as my interest point, okay? Let's see if that works. Now I'm going to fly away. And now I'm going to press play. And let's see if it orbits that. I probably have it completely wrong, but let's just try it. Yeah, so I think that's how you need to do it. You fly over something, set your interest point, and there you go. Still not really keeping it in center. So it might be better to just like track something, you know, and like rotate around it. Let's see if we can go up and back and if it'll still do its point of interest. Okay, flying very high and far back. Okay, so I mean, maybe not great for like close-up items. And we can still, okay, yeah, we can still adjust our gimbal. Okay, but at least it's still rotating. I don't see any way to increase the speed though. There we go. Check that out. I just clicked on speed. That's intuitive. And let's get it kind of up there. Wow, that thing's hauling. Okay. All right. So you can do that. Just a little bit of finagling just to make sure you know how to use it, which apparently I'm having some trouble with. Pause. It just pauses if you need to talk to somebody or get something. Play again. And it continues on, man. That thing's going. Okay. Good enough for me. And then remember, you can control your camera however you want. So you don't have to just have it, you know, centered on that thing. You can do this kind of stuff. And then say we want to slow down our speed down to 3. Oh, that's pretty washed out in the sun there. There we go. So you can do these kind of automatic circular panoramic shots like that. And you have pretty good customization. Altitude, look at that. I can press on altitude too, and I can bring it up. That's great. And it's just going higher or lower. Radius, you can also do that. That's awesome. It's at 24. Okay, so that's the kind of setup they're doing. Let's try to bring the radius in a little closer. Only 10 or 11. Yeah, it came in tight right above me. So great, it's working good. I'm gonna pause it right here and I'm gonna hit X. And let's bring it on down. Let's see what else we can do. Still got 62% left. Remember, I want to do another return to home, so I want to save some battery for that. So hitting the AI again. Ooh, the power in my camera's just about to die. So I'm going to quickly land it and change my hat cam. Okay, get out of this. Quickly do a return to home. Change my hat cam battery. Okay, guys, and then let's... Oh, my hat cam just died. So what I'll have up right now is I'll just have the drone video up while I'm talking. Wow, looks like they're doing some work here at the Kula Park. And you're gonna see from the camera of the drone, how close it lands to that landing point, okay? This is with the camera all the way down. It did go up pretty high, 160 feet I had it set at. And you can set all that. For some reason I just set it that high in the settings. So you can hear when it's in RTL, return to landing, it's making that beeping on the controller. Boy, this time it's pretty far off. I wonder if doing those circle around points kind of messed it up. Because now it's on the other side of that box. I'm just going to pick it up here and be recording the drone video. I'm going to walk over to that spot. There we go. So see, from there's the case, and then there's where I launched from. That's about 8 feet. Anyway, let me replace my hat cam and let's do the rest of the AI functions. Maybe we'll do one more return to home and let's wrap it up with the pros and cons. Okay guys, back in action. I got a new hat cam in. Sorry about that. Thanks for bearing with me on that. But remember, the same battery power on the second battery of the PowerEgg X. And I'm just booting this thing up again. Yeah, so the map's definitely an issue there with Android at least. Don't know what's up with that. So I'm gonna launch from the same spot. The accuracy seems to be pretty hit and miss with this one. Maybe it's possibly because I don't have one of those landing pads designated. Maybe it's using the sensors on the bottom to look for that. But this is how it's acting if you don't have one of those. So we'll go ahead and we'll start recording again, and we'll just take right off again because we don't want to waste any time. Wow, that just is so startling. So really, not a slow takeoff like other drones. It just goes right up. Okay, so let me get this out of the way so it's not super loud in the mic. Get on back here, and let's do some of these, finish up these AI functions, right? So this does have a QuickShots mode. Look at that. So we tried the point of interest, and you know, gonna have to kind of figure that out a little more. I wasn't really too adept in that, but it does seem to work. You just have to know where it's taking that point from. Anyway, let's move on to the QuickShots. We got this thing up in the air. Recording unable to switch. Okay, so we need to stop recording. So this would be maybe more like the Mavic Mini QuickShot mode. So I stopped my recording, hitting AI. Now I'm going to click on QuickShots. There we go. So we got all this stuff: droney, circle, helix, rocket, and oval. Wow, that sounds the same as some other stuff, doesn't it? All right, let's try the droney first for another power. Make it so I'm in the best light. Sorry about the overcast, but let's just try droney. Gradually flies backwards and ascends. Okay. Great. So interesting, kind of tracking vehicles and people, kind of like what Skydio does. Remember Skydio? I'm just going to press on myself there. And you can choose your distance. So here we go. All right, great. I can choose the distance. 20. Okay, you can go all the way to 40. Let's go to 40 meters and check it out. You can choose all these modes from right here on the bottom left. See all those? You don't have to go out. Cool, let's do a droney first. Ready, set, go. Pressing play. Oh, it has to be higher. Let's try that. Play. See that? I had to go up a bit. It has to be 3 meters high. So there's our droney. Hey y'all. Let's pretend we're on vacation. Don't want to be going on vacation right now, of course, because of the virus, right? COVID-19. But you can do easy dronies. Awesome. If you're a really amateur flyer. Okay, so it stopped it, and the camera went off and everything. And let's see what it does. If it's coming back, I'm not touching anything. I just want to see what it does. So it seems like it's coming back at the height. Now let's see if it comes down. Yeah. So it doesn't do that gradual, like 45 degree. It doesn't come back the same as it went out. It goes forward and then it comes down. Anyway, that's what you can expect with that one. So that's our droney, and let's go into a circle. Step back a little. You could pick right here, clockwise or counterclockwise. Looks like that's all you can do. So you're gonna wanna adjust your height and maybe your distance first. click on myself. Let's try it. Let's just press play. I don't see anything else you can do except clockwise and counterclockwise. Pressing play. Hopefully this is going to start recording as it's doing this. Okay, well there's a great point of interest. So if you wanted to do like a selfie quick shot, we might want to even try on something else, right? Because what if you wanted to use this as your point of interest? But it looks like it's just going to do one revolution. Yeah, it did keep me perfectly in the center. It's starting to slow down. That's great. A quick little point of interest there. Super easy. Let's see if we can do something else. Let me turn it over to that box on the ground. Oh, see? It's just trying to locate cars and people. Let's see if I wanted to maybe try that box. Yeah, let's try it. So use this for a point of interest if you want, guys. Look at that, I can still see the box. Great, I'm gonna start this one more time. Counting down, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's awesome. So you can definitely use this as a one revolution point of interest. Really good to know. Remember, that's what the Mavic Mini kind of has trouble on. It wants to do people and objects. I don't remember me trying it on, I mean, it wants to do people and cars. I don't remember me trying on different objects with that. Maybe it can do it. I just haven't used it for a while. And there we go. So fantastic little options here. Looks like that tracking sensor on this one is really good. Pressing on there again, let's do a helix. So this is the one where you'll come in. I'll just be the subject again. Remember, you want to be up 3 meters. Click on myself there. And hopefully it's going to go out. Oh, cool. Well, it won't let me go farther down than it knows what it can do. I'm pressing down on the thumbstick, and it won't let me go further down. That's great. So just going to press play on helix, and let's see what it does. Yeah. This should go up and out in a circle. Ooh. Sorry, it's only me in the grass right now, but. So this is great. I mean, you can do these little quick shots, and it seems like they're working very well. It's going up a little higher, but not very far out. Okay, with their helix, look at that. It didn't seem to go out enough, just up in a circle. So let's try that this way. Let's go back. And I want to do a farther away helix, right? Click on. Let's try that one more time. Okay, we got to hurry up. We got 29% power left. Okay. Again, keeping an eye on the video. I'll have all these videos up while it's doing this. I'll have my screen recorded, remember? So you can see just how well it's doing its videotaping on the drone and also everything else. Yeah, so it seems like you want to just, that one seems like it's going farther away that time. Yeah, that did seem like it's going farther away. But look at that, a fantastic helix point of interest. Doing very well. That one went really high. Still, that's amazing. You see the little box around me? It's still able to track me. So they've got a really good image sensor and computer on board, this one, as far as for tracking. Remember, this one can also be used as a handheld camera, right? We're not getting into that in this review. This is just the Maiden flight test. Wow, look at that. It's looking at buildings and it's kind of seeing, it's kind of giving you options. I saw flashing up on the screen briefly there. Anyway, we need to really hurry up because we're through the second battery. Sorry about this extremely long review, guys, but that's how my reviews are, just to go into everything possible. Okay, so that's what this one does, is it goes up over where it left off and then it comes straight down. Doesn't have that smooth comeback. Oval, let's try an oval. I want to come closer because I don't, whoa. Let's try that. play before this battery dies. Okay, so kind of like a helix. Whoa. Okay, this is like a helix, but it's doing more of an oval. It's going out, and then it's coming close. I think that was called the boomerang on the DJI, right? They had the boomerang. Now that was really cool. Aircraft return to start point. Let's see if we can even go closer. Won't let me go any lower, but let's just try that again. That's a really cool, that's like a boomerang. I really like that one. A little bit of breeze. Now throughout this whole review, guys, the breeze has only been about 5 miles per hour that way. But did you see that? That was really neat. Neat little boomerang type of thing, but they call it an oval. Last one, rocket. The battery's getting low. So when you do these, it won't let me go any lower, right guys? So I'm just gonna get right here. I kind of like to lay on the ground for these. Just get right under it. This might seem kind of funny, but let's just do it. Click on myself, press play. Woo! Adios, amigos. So say you're laying on the beach and you wanted to get some cool rocket shot, just straight up. Of course, you could always just do it by yourself, but that is the rocket. Boy, we're at 14% and it's still flying like normal and letting me do all these functions, which is actually really awesome. I want to try one more rocket, but I want to try the rocket when I'm going over here. Let's see if it comes towards me, okay? Quick. Press on me and press play. Let's see if it comes over me or if it will stay over there. It went up. Yeah, so you're going to want to come more over the object. Might be coming over me a little bit, but you can tune in the shot you want. That's awesome. I'm going to get up now. Kind of funny how the camera just goes back to level and then comes down. Boy, we're just having a warning on the left. Well, that was all of our quick shots. The only other thing we have, guys, was that time lapse. I'm going to X out of this, go back into AI. Remember it has that time lapse there? It won't even let me go into it. So we'll do the time lapse at another date. Let's try one more return to home. See if I can just fly out here. Is it going to land in the trees? Oh, okay. See, it sensed I was going too far for how much battery it has left. And look at that on the screen. It's going to do an auto return. So great feature, just like other smart drones. And let's see again how close it lands to our launch spot, which was right here. This little brown patch. Okay. I'm going to start recording again on the video so you can see something. Uh-oh. It's going to land over there, guys, at 6%. Let's see if we can still fly it. Yep. It didn't quite make it back. So it does kind of a forced landing, but you can still control it. Let's see if I can push up. I can push up, but look, I can't turn the head. Wow. 5%. Okay, that's a little scary. Like, you can't turn the head back and forth. I'm going to try to press X out of that. Yeah, it's only allowing me to go forward, back, and roll left and right and go up very slowly. That's full throttle up. Okay, now it's just going to come down. This is full throttle up and it's just coming down. Boom. 2% left. Wow. Well, that's a good indication of what it can do. Really quick, I want to look at this battery and see what our voltage is. We're still at almost 3.6 volts. Great. Well, we didn't damage the battery. That's awesome. because if you go under 3 volts per cell, then you might damage it, but we're over 3 volts per cell. So this has a really good protection on it, okay? And don't forget, guys, I will have off both of those flights. I think the first one was down to 7%. This one's down to 2%. I will have had the timing on both of those flights up. So anyway, let me turn this off and let's do a quick pros and cons. All right, quick little pros and cons. Now that was pretty awesome. Just the maiden flight test again. It did have that little melting issue, which they seem to fix in the firmware update I just did. But they will be sending me another one. Hopefully, I'm supposed to send this one back when that other new one comes in, and we'll just test that one again too. We're going to do range testing, remember, and we also need to do the handheld and tripod testing, because this thing can track your face when it's in like its tripod mode and handheld mode. So pretty cool. But as far as the drone goes, by the way, guys, 55% power on the controller after those 2 flights. Didn't do any distance testing, but I gotta say it's a very good handling drone. Pros and cons, a little bit disappointed in the 60K frames per second. But again, maybe it overheated something in the chip, and that's why that's not working. We'll test that in the new one we get. So hopefully that 30 frames per second was good. I'll have had that up. I did a few pictures up there. Unfortunately, it was kind of overcast, but I'll have had the pictures up. And as far as the flight modes, the normal, pro, and the easy, pretty good. I mean, it went faster in the pro mode. Normal mode was fine, just like GPS mode. And then the easy mode, kind of like tripod mode. You can still turn fast and go up and down fast. And that seems to be the same in every mode, except it's just the lateral movement that either gets faster or slower in all those modes. As far as what I could see, the gimbal stabilization was very good. I didn't really see any horizon shifting. Remember, I am on the side of a mountain here, so when you get up out of the park, you're gonna see the slope of the mountain going down at a pretty gnarly angle, like 20 degrees or so. So that's why you might see that slanted horizon. But as far as what I could see, the horizon, if you look at the kind of the clouds and the ocean, it looked pretty straight to me. So that was good. And the overall stability was good. When I was watching the video, when I recorded a little bit at home just to test it before, because it had that melting problem, it seemed like part of the video was kind of blurry. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. But really carefully look at that 4K and just look at the complete picture. And it looked like blotches of the video to me on my monitor were a little bit blurry. So take a special note on that and just comment if you do see some blurriness in the picture on that 4K, and tell me what you think about this thing. But I gotta say, it's so far, I mean, they've had a couple of drones out now. This is, I think, their 3rd generation of drone, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it is. We're gonna also test the waterproof case, right? I got the Wizard waterproof version, so it has floaties and a waterproof case. We're gonna test that in the ocean here in Hawaii. And it also has the quick detach handle to make it just a regular handheld camera, right? So if you just really quickly do this, boom, boom, right? So it comes with a little tripod thing, so you can mount it on a tripod and do like some face tracking and stuff. And then it also has that handheld thing here. So you put these kinds of things in and you close it up, and you can just honestly use it as like a handheld camera. So we're also going to test that in some of other videos. So far, the return to home accuracy wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but we'll see in that new one they send me. And I also have a landing pad. We'll see if it gets any better. But it seemed like it was between 6 and 8 feet of where it took off from. So not the best. So anyway, I hope you guys like that. Tell me what you think in the description down below, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget, all the stuff I have in my videos and my gear, the drones and my gear, are in the links in the description down below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.